Today I'm going to show you how to install carpet tiles. Note, I am not a professional handyman, I am just a normie, but I did just install these in my entire living room, so I learned a lot from that experience. The ones I installed are called U-Tile Modular Carpet Tile. The style is Haven Sesame. I got them from Menards. Pause if you want to see any of these details I'm showing. One noteworthy thing about these is that no glue is required. They don't even have a peelable sticky backing to them like some carpet tiles. There's nothing that would prevent you from using glue, but just know that these are big and heavy, so glue may not be necessary. They measure roughly 20 by 20 inches. I'm installing them over top of wood floors all the way to the wall. Baseboard molding will eventually be put over the edge of them. I've seen another YouTube video where somebody was installing carpet tiles over existing carpet. I don't know much about that, but I assume it works. Inside each package is 8 tiles plus these green stickers, which are not what you might think they are. I'll talk more about these later. To figure out how many tiles I needed, I used the online tool on the Menards website. I made sure there were extra in case I need to replace any that get damaged or stained. That's one of the main advantages of carpet tiles. You can just replace parts of it if something happens. On the bottom of the tiles is an arrow. If you want these tiles to look like one continuous piece of normal carpet, you'll want all those arrows facing the same way. If you want the individual squares to stand out, you'll want to follow this pattern instead. Those arrows just have to do with how they cut it at the factory. Before starting the process, you'll want to clean the floor. Just know that there are pieces of carpet that come off these tiles from where they cut them at the factory. So you'll be doing additional cleaning as you go along. Start by laying them out in an X pattern and go all the way to the 4 walls, assuming you're taking them all the way to the walls like I am. What you don't want is a situation where you're going to have to make tiny cuts along the wall. Tiny pieces of carpet tile do not stick as well as whole entire pieces. If you have a pet, they may actually peel them up. But the way I have my X arranged ensures that I'm going to have pretty sizable cuts along the wall. So start laying down the tiles. Keep in mind the arrows on the bottom. My living room has a step down area, and I'm choosing to leave some of the wood exposed for that. When placing the tiles close to one another, try your best to create perfect intersections. If you're not careful with that, you could cause a chain reaction where by the time you reach the other side of the room, the tiles aren't lined up with each other very well. Note, like any kind of new carpet, these tiles emit a smell. So it's a good idea to have some open windows. Once you have a large amount of tiles in place, you can start adding the green squares. These are stickers that hold down the corners of the tiles, basically turning them into one huge rug. Note, these are one-sided stickers. They stick to the underside of the tiles, not to the floor itself. Most of what you need are perfect squares, so cut them like this. You'll end up with 2 that are half-sized. I'll show you what to do with those in a little bit here. So what you need to do is pull up each 4-corner intersection and stick one of these square stickers underneath them with the sticky side up. Make sure some amount of the stickiness is touching the 4 different corners. You could have done this as you laid the squares down instead of coming back and doing them afterward like we're doing here. But I feel it's better to get the tiles locked together tightly before finalizing them with the stickers. This is also the last opportunity to make sure the intersections are perfectly squared. Sometimes it's better to lift up one of the tiles completely and just do 3 of them and then just put the 4th one back down. After applying the stickers, press down on the area. Note that some of the stickers are going to have creases in them. That was never a problem for me. I just kind of uncreased them as much as I could. As for the edge pieces, you obviously need to cut them to fit. What I do, and I think most other people do it this way, is flip it over and mark the cut. It's also a good idea to mark extra arrows on the bottom of the tile so that you don't end up with a piece with no arrows at all. You wouldn't know which way to turn it. I use the box the tiles came in to cut them, and I use a blade that looks like this. This is just what I had laying around. I'm sure there's better ways to cut these. I then use this metal framing square to score the line, and then I make a cut all the way through. And then I just plop it into place. Of course, some cuts in the corner and around vents and stuff are gonna be more complicated than cutting a straight line. I sometimes used scissors. You can use what remains of the sticky pads to secure the pieces that are along the edges, and you can use the rectangular pieces to do so. You can also turn the squares into rectangles by cutting them. You just peel up where the two corners meet and apply the sticker underneath. And that's all I had to say about carpet tiles. If you found this video useful, please leave a like. Have a great day.